on its own. But the small ones, you have to take care of all those small ones. I drilled the whole pterygoid wedge to the medial pterygoid plate. And you can see here that this is the... go inside, my dear friend. See here how the JNA is hiding behind the... See that? Can you see that? These
Yes,
are all
yes.
the small JNAs which will go into the Haversian canals. And if you don't drill it, believe me, this is going to lead to recurrence. This is what we studied. And see again, there's a one JNA hidden here. Can you see that?
Yes.
These are the small ones which will create recurrence and not the big one which you drill. Give me the drill. Now I have to drill all these. So JNA surgery is not about the gross removal, but about the fine small ones which are invading the bones. That is all about JNA surgery. So just wanted to show you that. If you want, you can shift. I just wanted to show you that cavernous sinus segment. And did you receive the carotid artery sound, please?
Yes, I received it. I tried to play to the delegates as well, but I'm not sure it worked with the...
Okay, Zoom actually
technology.
filters the noise, high frequency noise. Zoom filters it, so most of the time it
Yes.
doesn't come on Zoom.
Yeah, that's all right. We got the gist of it.
This is the clivus. You can see that's the clivus. Give me a... So you can see the anatomy so nicely now. I will show you. See how beautiful the anatomy looks.
Yes.
See here, that's the sella. This is the optic. That's the carotid artery. This is the carotid which I showed you. The Doppler, this one here. That's the paraclival carotid here. And that's the mid clivus. This is the lower clivus here. And the JNA was occupying the mid and the lower clivus. And also inside the cavernous sinus. So we have finished the surgery. Oh, there's a small one here. Go closer. Ah, there's a small one here. Okay, give me a drill. So give me a drill. There's a small one sitting there. So these are the things which can actually cause recurrence. They are not recurrence, they are residues. So most of the time we think it's a recurrent tumor. No, these are all residual tumors which we leave behind. Give me a black sleeve. You see how that small bit of tumor was sitting right inside, hiding itself. See that?
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
Drill. And I think that is sitting right on the, very close to the foramen lacerum, but of course not involving the foramen lacerum. Go closer, please. See how the surgery is so tricky. Go closer. Can you see that tumor coming out?
Yes. Because of the bleeding. Yeah. Good.
This is a great granddaughter. There's one sitting here. Drill. So these are the small ones which cause problems post-operatively. I'm drilling off the clival recess now. That's the mid-clivus. So that's the marrow of the clivus. So can you see that is the mid-clivus and that's the lower clivus. Lower clivus
Yes.
by definition. So the upper clivus is from the posterior clinoid till the level of the Dorlos canal. From the Dorlos till the level of the jugular foramen is the mid clivus. From the jugular foramen till the hypoglossal canal is the lower clivus. Otherwise, the floor of the sphenoid corresponds to the floor of the mid clivus. And that's the lower clivus which I'm drilling right now. And you can see how nicely the whole thing is now free of tumor. This is an invasive tumor going inside. So you should be very careful not to leave behind any. So the big JNAs, the stage 2, all that is so easy to operate. It's just a cakewalk. But these invasive cases, they go into the small crevices and cause recurrence. And that's where you land up. You think that you've done a complete job and finally land up in a recurrence. So you see that there's another one hiding there. Go closer, go closer. Go closer, please. Always, before you remove, you just check with a Doppler. Give me a Doppler. Whether that's the carotid or not, because there's some pulsations there. And then if you see, that part of the carotid is covered by periosteum. Can you hear it?
Yes.
That's carotid, 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 carotid. Now, Dr. Monica will send it to you how we have traced the complete carotid. Give me a Surgicel.
Okay.
That's paraclavial carotid. No, I can't do anything there. That's the last thing I can do. No, it's okay. It's okay. That's fine. Wait, I'll take it off. Wait.
So once you're completed, we'll come back to you, Dr. Jankiram, and it will be great to sum up as well towards the end of the case and end of the day about the whole session and some pearls of your tips for our delegates.
Have you got the WhatsApp message of the carotid, the complete carotid?
Yes.
Yeah. Surgicel. Beautiful case. Beautiful case. Fantastic case.
Thank you. That's very nice. Thank you. So
No, thank
we'll join back, and that was an absolute treat. So the quite a few parts of Ranavaji were covered. So we're back to Verise. Prof, we're with you.
வரீங்களா?
I'm working with a 45-degree scope, and I drill out the spine where the inverted papilloma was attached, and still there is inverted papilloma behind the spine, and the spine, and this is a 5-2. So the spine is very attached to 5-2 and was very long. Okay. So inferior meatus, the spine of middle concha, and this is the inferior concha, inferior turbinate, the axilla, and the starting point of inferior meatus. Nasolacrimal duct is here, and the spine of inverted papilloma is here, and this is the 5-2 canal. So now we use the curve dissector, no, quello a zappetta, quello quello che ho curvato io. So with the
Prof,
curve dissector,
nasolacrimal duct is still intact, correct?
yes, the nasolacrimal duct is here and is intact, is there. And now with the curve instrument, we make a superiosteal dissection of the anterior and of the roof. And you see, dammi la doppia curvatura grossa da presa. Lava, lava. So this was the spine, and this is the canal of 5-2 canal, and this was the spine where the tumor was burned. So we make the dissection, the superiosteal dissection in this position, and then we remove. Double curve instrument to enter and to make the resection. We don't need to resect the mucoperiosteum of all the sinus. We do that when we started 30 years ago to do this surgery, and then we have the coarctation of the sinus. So it's better to leave some healthy mucosa inside to resect the mucoperiosteum only around the pedicle of the disease, of the tumor. Metti parete
That's interesting. So you think it's not necessary to
superiore,
carpet the whole mucosa?
parete superiore intorno all'infraorbitario. So now you see this is the infraorbital, and this is still there is tumor in the recess just lateral to the lacrimal sac.
So, am I audible?
Yes, we can hear
So-
you.
Hello, Dr. Ashok, am I audible?
Yes, you are. When,
Okay, so
very safe.
I just want to thank you for the wonderful opportunity you've given me. And I hope I
thank you so much.
lived up to my your expectations.
Fantastic. It's much more than that. And we had an absolute treat with all the range of rhinology. And it was like a concert. We started with the polyps and we reached all over the
Yes.
carotid and flavus. So that was
Ah, mi
absolutely
sembra
fantastic.
grosso.
Thank
The
you so much.
crescendo of the GNA.
Thank you, ma'am. It was an honor and pleasure to be with all of you. And it's, always a pleasure and honor. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Look forward.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Namaste.
Bye.
Namaste.
Thank you. And thank you to your team as well.
Huh?
Thank you to your team. Great work. So
Yeah, thank you.
everybody has played their role. So fantastic.
So hope to
Thank
see
you.
you soon, maybe in a different webinar.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And we'll have you again, definitely for our next live
Absolutely.
session.
Thank you very much.
Thank
sir,
you.
ma'am,
Bye-bye.
both of you. Thank you.
Thank
you.
you. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
in the lacrimal recess, and the lacrimal recess was full of tumor. So we need to clear that position. Mettimi l'aspirazione. Come chiama? La cannula di prima.
The lacrimal recess is behind the
Scende, come
lacrimal
lo
duct.
chiami?
So with this approach, with the prelacrimal, or when you don't do the complete maxillectomy, it's difficult to be managed.
Mm-hmm.
Now I am with the 45-degree scope. I control the medial wall. This is the ostia of the maxillary sinus, but still there is some tumor in the medial portion, so I want to check. This is the lacrimal pathways, and now I have a 45-degree scope. I look in the superior portion, and here there is still some tumor. Dammi la doppia curva grossa. Okay. Mettilo con le vie lacrimali. Qual è il tumore ancora?
Can I ask how you find surveillance after, post-operatively in the clinic when you're following the patients up with a pre-lacrimal approach?
So with the, what do you mean, the medication after surgery?
Well, yeah, that would be very interesting, but also just looking for recurrence when you see them back in the clinic with the pre-lacrimal approach. Obviously, the morbidity is much less for the patient, but do you find it more difficult for surveillance?
No, no, because you can see that the endoscopic control of the maxillary sinus with such a large ancrostomy is very nice.
Right
You in the clinic you can use the flexible scope and there is no problem to check all the different angle of the maxillary sinus.
That's
No,
good.
there is no any
issues.
no issue regarding the. Still, there is
And
some.
you mentioned medication post-operatively. Do you have a specific regime for these patients?
Chi ha capito? So, after surgery, we make the first clinic medication, the first medication in outpatient clinic after 10 days,
Mhm.
and the second one after 4 weeks.
Okay.
And in between, the patient has to go ahead with the self-medication, rinsing water with hyaluronic acid and steroid
Mhm.
inside the bottle.
Okay.
This is the concabulosa we did.
Mhm.
We check the frontal sinus, the frontal recess now. See. Dammi il seeker no, il funghetto curvo. Sai che sono un po' sordo, ma poi questi qui. Mi dai il numero 3 da frontale? No, la 1, 3. This is the remnants of the concha bullosa, the medial wall of the concha bullosa. Lava. Dammi il funghetto, retto. Curvo. Okay, the frontal sinus now is clear. The mucosa is there, so we don't enlarge anymore. Dammi ancora la doppia curva. Niente. Okay, here is clean. Non va, cambialo. Okay. Okay. Now, we want to check again inside the maxillary sinus.
Metti quello retto, scusi. Retto. Non ti faccio da macellare.
We need to clean this angle. Sì.
So, Prof, at what stage do you consider converting this into a traditional medial maxillectomy and not the prelacrimal?
So, in this case, the prelacrimal is a little bit too much. We can perform a standard medial maxillectomy enlarged to the piriform. So,
Okay.
in this case, the prelacrimal is really at the limit.
Okay.
Because when you have to control this position, that is the anterior wall just above the nerve and the lacrimal pathways, but nevertheless was done, and you see this is the lacrimal duct intact,
Yes.
and this is the 5-2. The spine of the tumor was here, very long, half centimeter, and we have drilled out completely. This is all the anterior wall of maxillary sinus. This is the floor of maxillary sinus that is clean. I still have a 45-degree scope working. Again, now I control the roof that is free
Okay.
and the medial wall that is free. I leave the mucosa on the posterior wall and on the floor of the sinus. That is important to keep the patency of the sinus itself. Years ago, when we started this surgery, we removed the mucoperiosteum all around the wall of the maxillary sinus, and the final result was a completely coarctation of the sinus itself. So nowadays, if we can, we like to leave the healthy mucosa there. So this is the fracture of the lacrimal pathways. And now we can close with the suture.
Yes, thank you. I can see how you left a bit of a bone as well, so it acts as a support rather than it, so it doesn't collapse.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
È un po' sì, perché abbiamo fresato un po' di più. But I think that there is no problem, because this can close for secondary. Ok, so il punto di sutura. Senta entrare, che c'è un'accelerazione. So now we put
More or less conservative.
stitches.
The important is to preserve the function of the lacrimal pathway and the inferior turbinate,
Dammi la 0.
Yes.
despite
Zero.
inferior myototomy or scarring.
Of course, at the end, it's a completely different for the patient to stay with the inferior turbinate or not. So in this case, we have no crossed, fast healing. So concha bullosa, open, concha bullosa, ethmoid, anterior ethmoid. Frontal sinus is clean, so we don't need any more large antrostomy to check. And now we make the suture. Take again the 45 scope. Ok, dammi. Grazie, fatto bene. No. Tieni la coda.
No, me lo tengo mal.
Mercedes 2000.
Professor, can I ask how often you get a surprise with the final pathology, whereby the initial biopsy and scans look like an inverted papilloma, but then there's a focus of malignancy within the specimen?
Well, very rarely, because with the magnetic resonance, you can have a suspicion, because inverted
Yes, for sure.
papilloma has a clear pattern. Different is the other tumors. Then usually before doing surgery, before scheduled surgery, we only perform biopsies with endoscopic procedure on local anesthesia usually. And the biopsy are taken with the 3 different depths to be sure. And then during the surgery, we send the specimen to the pathologist, mapping where we take the specimen. And the rate of the malignant tumor inside inverted papilloma, I think, is less than 1%.
Thank you.
Si è, allora. Dammi. Okay, now we want to make closure here, if it's possible. Dammi la forbice. Vedrai ancora i punti di sutura? No. No, never mind. No, I want to put the second stitch, but the mucosa was not enough strong, so we leave that. Ok, so c'è del tabo aperto. Pezzetto piccolo. We put some. I put some oxycell here to promote granulation and closure in the second step.
It
Okay.
looks very functional operation, despite the very radical excision of the papilloma. It's very functional. You can see the lacrimal is preserved, then the inferior turbinate is almost in its position. So the airway wise and hardly any raw mucosal surfaces. So the healing would be quite quicker as well. Do you agree with this?
Absolutely,
Okay.
and when you compare it to a traditional medial maxillectomy, the healing is going to be much quicker, crusting is less, so much better for the patient.
Of course, the best indication for the prelacrimal is when the tumor is not the pedicle of the tumor, the origin of the tumor is not in the anterior wall of maxillary sinus. So this case was a little bit on the border. But of course, during the prelacrimal, the wellness of the patient will be really different in the future years. No. Dai ancora il punto di sutura. Now I have to fix the cartilage to the anterior spine and
The septoplasty part of the operation.
because yes, I did septoplasty because there is an anterior deviation, so I did a septoplastic, and I like to fix the anterior edge del Edson.
How long do you follow these
After-
patients after the operation? With 3 or 5 years or even longer? What's your view on that?
Ok, cosa ho detto? No, inverted papilloma, okay, inverted papilloma, we don't have any recurrence of the disease after 5 years
Okay.
in our cases. So usually inverted papilloma, yes, I like to follow up for 10 years, but the last follow-up is with at least 3-year distance.
Okay.
What's your protocol, Ashok, for following up inverted papilloma?
Yes, I think I very much agree with Prof that initially the follow-up will be closer till that's monitoring the healing part of it. So post-op 2 weeks, then 4 to 6 weeks,
Okay.
then probably again 3 months, then a 6 monthly follow-up. So
Yeah.
3 monthly in the first year, then 6 months
Yeah.
onwards until 5 years are completed. And then probably if everything is fine, we would stop at that.
Datemi una mano, Cristoforo.
And your follow-up for the first patients with the olfactory neuroblastoma?
So the follow-up for esthesioblastoma is a long life
Yeah.
because in esthesioneuroblastoma, we know that can have a recurrence after 18 years or more.
Yes.
So
Yes.
olfactoneuroblastoma, we never stop to follow up.
Is the follow-up mainly the endoscopic or you do imaging as well, annual imaging studies, annual MRIs?
No. So for
Just
malignant tumor, we do perform alternatively the magnetic resonance and PET scan. Of course, it's related to the biology of the lesion. For aggressive tumor like neuroendocrine, SNOOC, SNEC, Ewing sarcoma, we always use also PET scan, not only magnetic resonance. And the first year, the first control is after 4 months, then every 6 months, we do perform imaging. So magnetic resonance is mandatory, but then we use in the group of aggressive tumor, we do use the PET scan also.
Okay, thank you.
Pleasure. Grazie. No, se spingi, no, me lo sposti. Dai ancora. Dai ancora il Kilian. Concia bullosa puoi buttarla. Dai, grazie. No. Ok. Mi dai 2 da 10. L'ho messo qui. Oh, cazzo. Mi dai a tamponare? E l'ago... non so. L'ho tagliato. No, stavo attenti, ma è saltato via. Ok. Dammi il tampone. La baionetta. The packing is with Mercer 2000 with the silicon. Okay, dummy. Vabbè.
Packs overnight.
Okay, so we are finished, and I want to thank you so much for the invitation. Was very nice to share this time with you. And I want to thank all the crew in the OR, the anesthesiologists, the scrap nurse, everybody, and the staff of Karl Storz for the connection, for the.
Thank you, Professor. And really from GRN, we sincere gratitude for all your support right